So we come out to question 22. We read the question carefully. Your polynomial, this one power to 4, factor. When you say factor, means you use this x value. What is the x value here? X equals to negative 3. So factor, we will put the equation equals to 0. And another keywords here, they say reminder. So reminder, so factor means equals to 0. Later the polynomial equals to 0. So reminder here, later equals to 60. The equation equals to 60. When you divided by x minus 3, so this x value is 3. So this is the factor theorem and reminder theorem, means find the value of AB and then factorize this completely. So from the values we have, when we substitute into our polynomial, the first information state that it is a factor. So for the x equals to negative 3, when it is a factor means p negative 3 will be let it to 0. So this is what we mean by factor theorem, just these two sentences, how we apply factor theorem. So what is reminder theorem? Then we see the divisor here. Divisor here is x equals to 3. The value of x equals to 3. When we substitute into our polynomial, we say it leave a remainder 60. So it will equal to 60. So this is our reminder theorem. This is our factor theorem. So the difference here is here, whether equals to 0 or equals to number. So equals to number, reminder theorem. Equals to 0, factor theorems. So the next step, it will be like our function, just substitute the value into the polynomial and build out two simultaneous equations. When we have two unknown to find, so we have to build out two information and build out two simultaneous equations. So we will substitute here. So substitute will be doing after we write the theorem. So theorem, you have to write it out. Means that this is your theorem. This is your theorem. So you have to write it out clearly. What is your theorem? Okay, so this is what your theorem. Then the next step, only we do the substitution value. We put in the value. We put in negative 3. And we simplify this equation. So we can get this A, and then XD1 Okay, so our first equation we getting already. First simultaneous equation we get already. Continue for the second information here, where the remainder is 60. Put your 3 inside here. Okay, solve, simplify your A. 27 minus 12, 15A plus B. So what's the value here? 81 minus 63, 18. When you move to there, it will be 60 minus 18. So second equation obtained. And we start solve the simultaneous here. So you can see B. So B, they are same. We can eliminate B. So how we eliminate B? We can take equation number 2 minus number 1. So when 15 minus negative 15, it will become negative, negative, positive. Okay, then substitute, continue. Sub into 2. Either one, I just take either one. Either one equation can be just trying to find out what is the B value. Okay, so that will be our first part where our A is 2, B is 12. So therefore our polynomial will be complete, complete in the value. Our polynomial now will be x power 4, A is 2, 2x cubed. So from here what is our concept? The concept is we substitute our value negative 3 to get to the first simultaneous equation. So applicable for both sides. So here we check, do you know to use your factor theorem or not? Equals to 0. Your concept here equals to 60. Reminder theorem. So that K is for your concept. Factor theorem concept, reminder theorem concept. And the rest of it will be simultaneous solving and answer. Then we go into next part. Next part is saying hence. Hence means you have to use the AB here, the value AB here, and to factorize it completely. What else you can get from this information where you have one of the factor x plus 3 actually. So you have one of the factor here, x plus 3 here. So you can use one of the factor from here. So your polynomial will be equal to one of these factor and other factor will be cubic factor. So we proceed to our factorize completely. So we take our polynomial. Divide one of the factor. One of the factor is given. When you divide one of the factor, automatically you will get other factors. So divide one of the factor here, x plus 3. And we start doing this long division. Okay, so what is the multiplier from here in order to get x4? What should you multiply? So x4 divided by x, it is an x cubed. So multiply back, expand back, it will be x4 plus 3x cubed. Then minus to find out the remainder. So you minus here, you will get negative x cubed. Then bring down your things here. Continue the division. As long as the power for the remainder is bigger than divisor, you have to continue your division. We haven't finished yet. So what else have to multiply to put here so that they get x cubed? We can divide back. negative 1 divided by here, we need a negative. So x cubed divided by x, I need a x squared. And then we expand that. So expand that, you will get negative x cubed. If you can clear the division here. Continue negative here. So minus here we get negative 4x squared. Okay, so the process repeat. What should you put the multiply here? So you can divide. Negative 4 divided by this coefficient, you get negative 4. So the purpose is you can, when you're doing long division, you can cancel, you can finish out the leading item here. So later on you can finish this, cancel this 4x squared. So you must multiply something to get 4x squared. So x squared divided by x. So means that we will expand, we will put a quotient here, negative 4x. Then you expand, you get negative 4x squared. Expand. Continue. Minus. So when you minus, it is 0. We continue for other terms. Minus it, positive 12, 4x. So what should you put here? So you will put a 4 here. So that when you do 4 times x, it will give you 4x. And continue for the next term, 4 times 3, it is 12. So be careful here. When you do your long division with your factor, so you won't have any remainder. So that's why when you put your value of x, it is come from factor, it will equals to 0. Because our remainder, we don't have any remainder here, it is 0. So your polynomial now, one of the factor is this x plus 3. And another factor is this cubic. So we have to continue how to find out the factor for this cubic. Okay, so you can do by inspection. Means kita boleh teka-teka apakah factors there. So by inspection, how you inspect the things, you can use your calculator. Okay, you can use your calculator. You can find out your mode, your equation there. Put in your calculator, like what you do for quadratic, but now we do for cubic. Last time we do for factorization for quadratic. So now we choose the equation for cubic in order to factorize. So you can see by inspection, when x equals to 1, 1 minus 1, so this cubic will get 0 also. So means x minus 1 is one of its factor. So we continue to do our division. Divide another factor here, x minus 1, so that we can get to the quadratic factor. So times negative 4. So finally, we can write our polynomial equals to one of the factor is x plus 3 from the beginning of this process. And then from the cubic process here, we find out another factor is x minus 1. Leaving the quadratic factor is x squared minus 4. So factorize it completely. For quadratic, we can factorize it some more. It will be x minus 2, x plus 2. So this is how we get the first factor in cubic, and then finally factorize it in completely.